Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.wordpress.com. Thank you very much for joining me again today for another card making tutorial. Very glad to have you with me. And today it is Monday, therefore it is the Monday colour challenge. And this week these are the colours we are using. So we have Flirty Flamingo, Mint Macaron and Highland Heather. So my thoughts immediately turned to some kind of floral with this, and I decided I was going to work with the Hydrangea Haven stamp set, or I can never remember if it's Haven or Hill. It's Hydrangea Hill is the suite, and then Hydrangea Haven is the stamp set. So those are the inks. So the stamp set looks like that. Some two-step stamping elements in there, and it does have coordinating dies as well, the hydrangea dies there. So lots and lots of bits and pieces being used today. We aren't going to use the dies. Originally I thought, when I was going to make my sample, I thought that would be the case, but I ended up instead of using the die and the outline, I've just used almost like the colouring in portions to stamp my hydrangea image. So that's what we're going to do today. So we're just going to replicate what we've done already. So I'm going to stick that in front of me just as a quick reminder of what we're doing. I've pre-cut and scored my basic white card base, and what we're going to do is just stamp around the edge of this layer. I used Highland Heather for that, so we'll bring in our Highland Heather ink pad, and I'm using this little image, which is the one I've used to create the definition of the petals on the main flower head. So I've just taken that through around the edge of the card as well. So we're just going to do light tapping, and we're going to get that inked and stamped around the edge of this layer. Try not to overlap too much, just twisting the stamp a little bit each time, but the random nature of the image makes that less important. And we only need to cover the edge because the rest of the elements are going to do the rest of the work for us. And even if there are a few gaps here and there, it's just going to add to the effect anyway. So we've got our stamping around the edge of that, so that's ready to add to our card when we're ready. Going to stamp on this piece now for our focal image, and I'm just checking that that's actually the right size. It is just about. So I want to die cut that with a stitched rectangle. I do need my Highland Heather, but I want to do my leaves first so I can position the head over the top. So I'm going to bring in the Mint Macaron ink there and the kind of solid leaf stamp to get that into place first. Let's give that a good ink up. I've put this onto a D block, and we're going to put that down something like there, I think. Firm pressure. It's a distinctive set, so it doesn't stamp a real solid image. It gives it this sort of watercolour effect, which is perfect for this kind of look that I'm going for. Okay, so that's it for Mint Macaron. So let's get him out of the way, and then we'll bring in the flower head, the sort of solid one. And I've introduced it to the ink pad, but I haven't gone crazy with the ink. When you're doing the tone on tone, you lose some of the lines if you go straight on top with. I just want the illusion of that background there, so that's fine. I don't mind that that's come out a little bit on the splotchy side. because we're now going to use exactly the same ink, the same Highland Heather ink, to add these details over the top. So that's fine. Okay, and I might just wipe that and just add just a couple in there as well. Okay, so you've got this sort of textured, sort of floral look without stamping the outline. And we're going to die cut this with a stitched rectangle, which just about fits on. I could have put it a bit higher up on the paper, but that's fine. It fits in, that's super. Okay, so we'll just use some tape to secure that. So that's ready to die cut in a moment. And while we're at it, oh no, we can't do it while we're at it because we need the pink. It's going to be cut with the same die, so that's fine. But what we can do is stamp the sentiment onto a smaller piece of card, which I've forgotten to get out. Let's just grab a piece from the scrap bin, and we'll use Flirty Flamingo. And I really like this. You make me smile. That's nice, isn't it? So we'll pop that towards the bottom there. It's really nice font. And we're using one of the other stitched rectangles to cut that. So I'm just looking to get that level in the in there, making sure the tops and bottoms of the letters look like they're evenly spaced, and then the space at the end. That looks okay to me. So I've got my flower head, and I've got this piece here that we can die cut all at once, and then we need to cut our Flirty Flamingo layer. So we'll do that nice and quick on the Stampin' Cut and Emboss. Just a tip when you're cutting out regular shapes like this, it's best to put them on the plate so that they basically the corner goes in first. So if this is our platform, what you want to do is position it so the rollers are going to come over it like this, but you don't want it to hit that sharp edge. So if you angle it slightly and let the corner lead through, it makes everything so much easier to get through the machine. So here's our hydrangea that we've stamped. Just peel away that gently. I'm going to use the same die to cut a piece of Flirty Flamingo. So I'm going to put that on as an angle like that, look, see? And feed that through the machine on the wonk, just so that, one, it's easier to turn, and two, it's less pressure on your machine. And you get less cracking and clunky noises that way as well. Okay, so there's our layer of Flirty Flamingo. Alright, so those are stitched rectangles. I was tempted to use a punch for this, but I thought, well, rather than introduce another product, I thought I'd just show you you can achieve it with the dies as well. So we have all our bits and pieces, so we just want to get that stuck together. Bring in my stamp and seal. And add that to the white card base. Good sharp crease on the fold. We're then going to use some glue tape just on the centre portion of this so that we can offset it slightly. Now the choice is yours in terms of how you offset it. You could do it this way, you could do it that way. I did it this way before, so let's do it the other way. Just because we can. And the amount of offsetting, you know, you can really mess about with it. You just want to make sure that it'll still fit on your card base. So we'll go with that, and we're going to pop this up onto some dimensionals. Okay, so I'm just going to put them on the sort of behind the pink layer, if you know what I mean, and then that will give that whole panel plenty of support. Dimensionals are really easy to use. If you have difficulty with this fine motor action, if you've got arthritis or something, the take your pick tool is really good to help with that. And the other thing I'm going to do is just use some wet glue over the top of those, because I find that if I've got like a wonky layer behind this, I find it really hard to get the whole the top layer straight. I just find it hard to look past the pink layer and eyeball it straight, so I think that's okay. But that glue just gives you a moment or two just to lift it if you're not quite sure. And then we've got our sentiment. Okay, so on this one, I don't know whether you noticed, so I layered it against the pink to sort of emphasise that little wonky bit, but we've done it a different way this time, so I don't know whether to just stick it straight and have it overhanging like I do sometimes. That might be nice. And then I'm actually contemplating using a dimensionals for this actually, so let's put a couple towards this end, just to give it a bit more, another lift element. So we'll put that in straight with the edge overhanging slightly, and it's sort of framed by that mint macaroni leaf on the left as well, so that's cute. Okay, and we have the pastel pearls. These the Hydrangea set and the pearls are staying. Slightly surprised the pearls are carrying over because there are two retired colours in here. So these are actually Gorgeous Grape, Soft Seafoam, Highland Heather and Rococo Rose, and those two colours were our exiting in colours, and generally speaking, if there's any embellishments in those colours, they will retire too, but these have carried over, which is super duper, because as you could see, I hadn't used very many of them for whatever reason. I can't think why, because they are really, really pretty. So I don't know why that would be the case, but I'm pleased that they are here and that I still get to use them. So that's that. And that is the finished card. Okay, so it's just a more or less a replica of this one, just tilting the card in a different direction, just to give you some options there. But I hope you've liked that. Okay, as always, links are in the description to the products I've used today. Would love it if you could shop with me. Don't forget to use the host code, that's also in the description. If you scroll through, you'll see there's a host code to add to your order. Okay, I'll leave that with you. Thank you very much everybody for watching. Take care and see you soon. Bye.